This will be a 3-minute meditation on dealing with our inner critic in more productive and effective ways. The first thing I'd like for you to think about as it relates to your inner critic is that in a perverse sort of way, your inner critic actually wants the best for you. Your inner critic hopes that by using mean-spirited and angry words with you, you'll eventually change in some way or another. And so when we look at it this way, the intentions of our inner critic are actually very noble. However, we have to recognize that the techniques our inner critic uses for trying to create these changes are not effective. When our inner critic inwardly yells at us, calls us names, or uses negative language, these are not useful. Think about it as if you were trying to get a close friend of yours to change who you knew very well. Instead of yelling at them the first time they messed up, or even the 10th, it would be more productive to simply, gently, and persistently remind them that they may not be doing the right actions that would make them the happiest. And so we can apply the same philosophy towards ourselves. Because in truth, we often treat ourselves so much worse than we would treat a friend or even an enemy for that matter. And so, going forward, what will be useful to us is to bring awareness to our inner critic when he arises or she arises, and ask her, what are you trying to do to help me? We can even thank our inner critic for their intention to help us. We can say, thank you, inner critic, I'm glad you're here. What are you trying to say to me? And if our inner critic says something very negative, very mean, we can say, well, I appreciate you saying that, but if you can't frame your words in more respectful ways, then I'm going to have to ask you to leave. By treating our own inner demons and critics in this way, as we would a real person on the outside, we can find that our inner world is reshaped and changed. However, I've found that a combination of thanking our inner critic, being aware of when he or she is there, and asking them to frame what they're saying in more respectful ways, this combination has been the most effective for me. Because regardless of if our inner critic wants the best for us or not, in a sense, all of this is within our head. And so if we think they want the best for us, then we take control of the situation, and it is true. Thank you very much for your time.